You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
The AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California. Presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Revolution After Show.
Welcome to the Revolution After Show right here on AFTERBUZZ TV, Season 2, Episode 5, One Riot, One Ranger. I am your host, Megan Thomas, and I have two handsome gentlemen with me. Who are you? Okay, one handsome gentleman.
Here we go.
And who are you guys?
Ryan Hooks here, coming at you.
No, Larice people, so beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
He's the handsome one, for sure.
Don't lie to
I'm the
people.
personality.
All right, you
Don't
know,
lie
I gotta
to
give
the
credit
people.
over here too, man. We're just two beautiful people over here. No offense, you, Megan.
Yeah. Well, I'm so
And a
glad.
gal.
Actually, this is our first time, all three of us being here.
I know.
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So let's talk about this episode. It's getting weirder for me. Do you guys feel like it's getting a little weird? Like they're trying to keep it like normal, but then I think the whole Aaron storyline is getting weirder.
I think the Aaron storyline is definitely the weirdest part of everything that's kind of happening. But you kind of look what kind of takes place with Texas Rangers coming in, and you know the prisoners and the government kind of taking over. It's kind of like normal to me, but the whole supernatural evolutionary technology that Aaron has
That's right.
is more of like interesting because you really don't know what to expect with Aaron right now.
I think they got to keep the plot driving. They got to add new features because, you know, how long can they just kill people, add people, kill people, add people?
Yeah.
So, you know, they got to take it to a new direction, get a little spin off in the plot, and see what happens.
Right. So let's start off talking about our good friend Major Neville, who has been reassigned, we find, by Secretary Allenford. And it almost seems for a second that she trusts him, but then she quickly lets him know, no, you follow orders. I don't trust you.
Well, you know, she said, hey, I don't trust you. I'm just doing my orders. You're doing your orders. Man, and I love Neville. I wish that they had, I'm saying, I wish he was in the story so much more. I think they've made his part smaller, but he's stellar every single time he's on every time he's on camera. I can't look away.
Well, yes, shout out to Giancarlo Esposito. He's an amazing actor, I will say that.
Yes.
So I'll agree with you. But I hate his character.
But at the same time, I just think it's this one particular episode, he has such a small role because it focused more on like Aaron and Miles and Monroe and Charlie. But even with this episode, he just really kind of shine as a person because, you know, he goes up to her like, hey, you know, are you trusting me? And she's like, no, I'm just doing my job. I'm kind of short one soldier. You know, I know you're a great fighter, so come along. And then his actions throughout the whole entire time, especially when they got ambushed in the woods, he kind of noticed what was kind of happening.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and they show you with the cinematography how you see the
Zoom in on the
what
sniper
is the
rifle.
the
coming
safety-
right.
the
It
safety
goes from,
off.
is that real? Is that
Yes,
really how
yeah,
simple
yes.
a sniper rifle is?
Yeah.
Fire.
They're listening. Sometimes they're color coded red and black.
Yeah, but for the most
Oh my
part,
gosh,
it's
that's
just
so
good.
The
easy.
other
That's
guy
why you
clips
got.
his holster. You know.
That's how kids shoot schools up. It's so easy. Safety, fire. Like,
It's easy to learn. It's like reading.
oh my gosh.
I think guns are easier than reading.
Probably.
I think so too.
So he notices that these guys are not, even though they have Patriots attire, they're not Patriots.
Yes.
And he notices it very quickly, so he gets in position, which I think it's kind of weird that these guys don't notice. You see a guy lurking. He's moving kind of slow
Drops
away
his bag
from the
off
pack.
on the wagon.
Yeah.
You know, hiding a little bit.
Right. And so I find it very amazing that Secretary Allenford can scale that big wagon and not get shot. She gets shot when she's running away, zooming through trees.
Right.
I know, right?
not
I mean, I
realistic.
guess more so what happened is they try to take more of the soldiers down first instead of her. But the whole purpose is to really try to ambush her because what she's really fighting for right now or fighting against right now is that the Patriots don't believe in. They pretty much feel like she's double crossing the meaning and the purpose of her job right now. So really, they're looking at, okay, I feel they're going to take her captive and make her a prisoner or just kill her, flat out just kill her. And I think she just really just got shot just being in the crossfire at the time, but I didn't really think they meant to shoot her.
Really?
But you gotta ask then, why didn't they go after her? Why did she end up down the hill?
Right.
You know, with Neville just hanging out, getting fixed up. Nobody's coming around.
Unless they really did like shoot all the guys. I mean, maybe we just didn't see that.
Everybody got shot.
But maybe everyone did get shot because it doesn't make sense. I mean, I feel like they were gonna kill her.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, what are they gonna? Right. What's the point of keeping her alive if she's, you know, as she later reveals that she is against them sending people to the reprogramming camp.
Yes.
So what's the point of keeping her around? Is she gonna change her mind and say, you know what? You guys are right. Reprogramming camp with the PCP and the LSD
and the
is
prostitute.
awesome.
It's
Forget
you
it.
know.
You know, they're gonna kill her.
It's probably a cool camp though.
They need her for at least one more episode.
Right.
That's why they got to keep her alive because now she's gonna take Neville to find his son at the reprogramming camp.
Yeah.
That was her, trick to get him to stay and help her out. So they need her for at least one more week.
Because he really was gonna like just leave her there with the bullet in her side as if like, hey, I really don't need you anymore. But I think with everybody here, everybody needs everybody. It's just that little bit of information that I can kind of give you to let you know that, hey, I need you for my side right now. So now the tables have turned where Neville really want to use her in the sense to make sure he kind of get back at the Patriots and those who really launched the bomb and killed his wife. So now it's like, okay, well, she needs Neville. And I think she just needs him to really kind of figure out what's really happening. And
no, I think she knows. She knows they don't want her. They want to kill her. Now she knows what their agenda is. But I think it's survival. You don't want to die alone in the woods with a bullet.
I mean, that's true too. But really, like, I think she needs him now. Just like she wants vengeance against the Patriots right now.
Right.
But I'm curious is what's Neville's thought process? Because he says, I don't want to be a fugitive. I want to be a patriot. But as he's already said, he doesn't really want to be a Patriot. He wants to sabotage the Patriots.
I think it's more for his son right now.
But here's the thing. I don't even think he was going to leave her. Honestly, I think he did that because, Neville's a mastermind. He's a manipulator. And
yes,
I think he had always intended to help her, especially because if you notice, as she's telling him this stuff, he cleans his hands. He sanitizes his hands. He's going to help her. Yeah. But it's one of those, I need to let her know that I'm not going to help her because I'm a true Patriot.
I could leave her.
Right.
It's like you owe me type situation. Like no matter what happens, that I looked out for you. So in the end, you should look out for me. And
I think now she has no choice but to believe and trust him because even the fact that he was about to leave her to die because he's like, I'm a Patriot. Yeah. And if they're trying to kill you, I'm not on your team. So I think he really has, he's good at the mind games.
He's got his agenda and
right.
Doesn't really know to her what's going on, but he knows what's going on.
Right. And then the other thing I didn't get, how come she didn't really scream when he starts taking the bullet out?
Stabbing her.
Don't you go, ah! That's how I would scream.
Maybe
if somebody's taking
you, Megan. She's a soldier, okay? Yeah. She know what she's doing. She's a trooper, okay?
If she was a real trooper, she would have had a gun strapped to her hip.
She's in shock.
She's a lady, okay? Thanks.
And that's why she should have screamed when this bullet's getting taken out of her abdomen. Come on, writers. You guys
the bullet should have went all the way through her anyway. That close range,
I mean, it was
16,
Yeah, it should have, but
it
got lodged in a rib or something.
No, it can't get lodged in the rib.
I'm joking.
Right?
If Nora can get stabbed and shot 15 times before she dies,
this strong woman
can at least last one bullet wound.
Right. She did Guantanamo, so she should definitely be able to make it. Okay, so that'll be interesting, I think, to see, especially what this reprogramming camp looks like with people, I guess, basically like zombies. Because if you've got them high on all these different drugs, as she says.
I think it's more of the conditioning of breaking their spirit and basically letting them know that, hey, I'm able to supply you with what you need. So you really have to listen to me, and basically be my slave in a sense because, you don't want to kind of go through the withdrawal or you don't want to kind of go without the drugs that I'm providing you. So now it's like, let me recondition you to be a patriot or be a slave or do whatever I want you to do.
What do you think? What do you guys think they're gonna do? Like, what are they reprogramming people to do?
Well, this isn't the first time they've used the reprogramming camp idea. Because if you remember back with the Monroe Militia, they went to a reprogramming camp boat when they had the scene with the lighthouse to rescue the people on the boat.
But I thought that was more of a training camp.
That's the same idea where they're taking these people there, they're breaking them down and making them totally nothing, and then making them soldiers. Basically, it's like sending people to boot camp, but also putting them on drugs so they only listen to what they're being told by the Patriots. Right. They're brainwashing them, essentially.
Okay.
I got the drugs.
That's what they're saying. That's how they do at the reprogramming camp.
You want more? So just do what I say.
That'll be okay. So that'll be very interesting to see this camp and see poor Jason, strung out on these drugs.
Hope not.
I hope not, but I think
Neville's gonna go crazy.
I think he's gonna have to be if he's there. Probably, right?
Let's ask the
speaking of drugs, Let's talk about iTunes.
Yes.
Because that's my drug.
That is everyone's drug. iTunes on Revolution. Give us 5 stars. Check us out. Tell your friends.
Make sure you kind of rate us. You have any questions that you want to kind of leave us that we have. Because we had a question last week that somebody left a comment about Aaron's supernatural powers. And they kind of told us like more or less like evolutionary technology. So make sure you kind of go in, rate us, leave us comments so we can kind of know the feedback of all of our viewers. And make sure it's also on your iPads, your Androids, any type of mobile device. You can download it. Also with iTunes, they can basically arrange your podcast for you. So make sure you go to AfterBuzz TV, iTunes /AfterBuzz.
Yes, and also let us know, what do you think is going to happen at the reprogramming camps?
We want comments.
Yes.
Questions. Concerns.
Yes. Okay, so now we were talking about Aaron earlier. Let's get back to our good friend Aaron.
Man, he is tripping.
Right. Poor Aaron is going through it.
Right.
Know, right? He's got a serious trip going on. Aaron, they're crossing the line here, I think, a little bit. We find out, obviously, that he has been able to see stuff. And he basically was the reason why Miles was able to escape.
It's kind of weird how he kind of came in. It was like Miles and Rachel like in the classroom in the room. He kind of just like knocks on the door, like slowly kind of creeps into the room, like real creepy and stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, you was at the train last night." He's like, how did you know?
How would you know that? Exactly.
Yeah, I saw you there. By the way.
It's kind of like weird the way he can kind of his
creepy
interest
dude.
In. Yes, and Miles just kind of look at him like,
how would you know? You're far
what's
away.
really going on? Like,
right.
Seriously.
So we see that our good friend Aaron can basically ignite people with his anger.
His neurological powers. Yeah. Well, the comment that somebody left on our iTunes and on our YouTube feed was, I made a comment last week about supernatural abilities. It's actually leaning more towards the evolution of technology, with these nanites, because we're supposed to assume then the nanites are actually tiny nano robots that are inside his brain, inside his body, and they're also the fireflies that we're seeing.
Right.
So do we think we're going to see more of those?
But here's what I don't understand, because if you can only, I think the missing link is, which is why it makes it so weird for me, is that the nanites are only supposed to be programmed electronically. So then when you cross over and now you have someone's mind controlling them, that's really weird.
But the thing about it is,
I don't even think it's
only
evolution.
One person.
That's what I'm saying. It's not even evolutionary to me. It makes me think like, did they put a chip in his brain or something while you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's as simple as him just having some supernatural ability. I don't even think it's the evolution of the nanites. I really think there is some kind of device somewhere in his body, which is that connects him to these, that basically sends the commands to these nanites.
Go ahead.
Oh, so it's all been linked to him anyway from the beginning, thinking about when they were talking about season 1, where he was brought in, all his pictures and all his code was used in the creating of the facility that they had, and he was the one that was able to hack into the computer to get it going again. So there's some link to him that we just don't know yet.
That's what I was going to say. It has to be something in his earlier stages of life that has happened to him. But it's just kind of weird, because even though he created the program at MIT, but it's also like, how does it link him to the government and with the nanites and everything that's going on right now? So I think he's really going to probably be the last person.
You think he's going to be the last person alive? Everyone's going to die.
Last one to figure it out, at least.
Yeah, I think he's going to be like the last person. I think like eventually Rachel's going to figure it out, or him and Rachel's going to figure it out, but it's going to be so hard because we really don't understand like what direction the writers are going with Aaron right now, because everything's questionable.
Yes. Oh, Eric Kripke, you head writer, you're doing a great job here.
Gotta keep us coming back every week for more,
Right. So then, of course, he reveals that he knows that he started the fire through his anger, and they just kind of course, Miles is like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
And Rachel kind of believes him. She's a scientist, so she understands what's going on. But this makes Aaron feel like, okay, I've got to get away because I'm going to start hurting people. So we see that he packs his stuff up and he has some flashbacks.
Aaron being Aaron, running away.
Again, yet again.
Always.
Leaving the lady behind.
Right. And so we see that in his flashback, it was 6 months ago, he was applying for the teacher position, which he did not want to be. He didn't want to be a teacher, even though he's super qualified.
A little bit overqualified.
But I think at the same time, like the situation with being a teacher, it's to kind of get his mind off what's really going on, because he's just really just like, I just need something to do, because sit around with nothing to do. And she's just like, I can't hire you as a teacher because you're drunk.
Right. And Cynthia, I think that shows how good of a person Cynthia is, too, because obviously you need a teacher. Nobody's applying. There's one applicant. And she could have just been like, you know what? I mean,
Yeah.
You're probably the best candidate out
Probably.
of all the
The only candidate.
Out of all the one candidate that we have, you're probably the best choice. So we're gonna have to just go with you by default. She's like, look, we'd rather have no teacher than to have you because you're drunk and you don't smile. And that's really big. And I think that says a lot about who she is as a person. And then
he was going through some things.
He was.
He's having a tough time, yeah.
And he said he's only gonna drink after hours. Good for you, Aaron.
And he won't lose it in front of the kids.
Yes.
That's unprofessional.
Yes.
And that's because that's very important. And so, of course, and then we also see that she gives him these chattering teeth as a reminder he needs to smile. And then we see her husband. What's his name?
Carl.
Carl. Why is it always an abusive husband that's named Carl?
Carl with the deep voice.
I know, right?
Right. Like, it's like you can't be named like Johnny or like.
Johnny sounds happy.
Johnny's a hero name. You can't.
Right. But I don't understand why Johnny's a hero and Carl's an abusive husband. I feel like Carl has been used in like another show as an abusive husband.
He probably has.
Probably.
Right. So that he just came on the show as well. Okay. Hey, Carl.
I mean, there's been a Johnny that's been crazy too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is.
Here's Johnny.
But it just doesn't. See, it sounds like a hero name. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not creepy without the face either. So.
Right, that's true. So crazy Carl, we see he's abusive. Poor Cynthia, and then we also see he's a cheater. He's a freaking cheater.
I mean, maybe he wasn't cheating. Maybe they're doing something else.
Really?
They
Ryan?
was talking.
Yeah, they were
Who
communicating.
talks with their legs in the air?
It could have been her arms.
No, because we clearly see that as Aaron walks in on them, you know, being the creeper stalker guy that he is.
But at the same time, in the middle of the night, I probably would like looked in the door.
What's going on in there?
I mean, you're like, what is this?
Yeah.
It's nighttime. He's going to his, because that was at the, was that at
It was
the,
at the boatyard.
Yeah, the boatyard, his
Where he
special
goes.
place. And so, of course, he sees it, and Carl comes out and is like, you better not say anything. And then he lights him up.
That's how he got Cynthia. You know what? He's a sneaky devil.
He is.
He's
yeah.
a sneaky devil.
Listen, your husband's dead. He's combusting, but
Yeah.
I like you anyway.
You stole this woman from her husband. But, I mean, it also shows that cheating doesn't pay.
Okay.
There's a serious look.
I know, that's just
that
like
is a serious one.
cheating.
No, but I mean, that's when he first, you know, he says when he's talking to Rachel that he didn't realize that was connected to his ability until it happened
Until
again
then.
for the second time. Where
But this makes me think thinking back to season 1 when they're at the facility, because this was 5 months ago, so it's probably shortly after they arrived in Texas.
Yeah.
You know, it was probably right when they got there.
Right.
You know, and then the nanite thing where he got cut and they went into his body and saved him didn't happen for months. So there's got to be something in his body that are drawing these nanites to him. You know, long before they got to Texas.
But I mean, and that's why we need to know more of the backstory, because he's been with Rachel, he's been with the Mathesons for a long time.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, why would the nanites be drawn to Rachel as well, or Charlie, or? You know
I
what I mean?
would think more so Rachel, because Rachel has a chip in her leg. You know.
She doesn't have it in her leg anymore.
They never cut it out. The one she put in that healed her leg?
Yeah.
Right.
They
After
never
she
cut it
broke
out.
her femur?
It's
Oh,
still there.
it's still there.
So I would think like she'll be more apt to like having the nanites because of the quick healing process and the chip in the leg. But Aaron, like we have no like reason or conclusion why Aaron is just like almost like hero, but at the same time he's a deadly person.
Wait a minute, I don't think the thing works anymore, or it has to. I feel like it either got taken out or it doesn't work. Because think about it, when Aaron died, why wouldn't she cut it out of her leg and put it in his body? She would have done that.
Who's gonna cut it out?
She would.
I don't think.
Rachel's a little loose in the head. She would have done that.
She's only loose because she's a fighter.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So she would have fought for Aaron. She would have definitely cut that thing out of. I'm telling you, I don't think it's in her leg anymore, or it doesn't work. Something's off.
I disagree.
I disagree.
Well,
I think that's
fine.
Look how fast she healed from them arrow. She healed pretty
when
fast.
she got shot a couple weeks ago.
Oh,
When the
that is
Patriots
true.
came in.
Yeah.
3 days up and running again.
Exactly.
That is
She's like,
true.
got it.
I'm back.
Fixed.
I'm busting
Right.
Jim in the head with a shovel. No problem.
No problem.
Right. So then we see, of course, Aaron. We're seeing that Rachel's trying to talk some sense into Aaron, and tells him not to leave yet again, as he's always accustomed to. And as she convinces him to come back, he has a flash, or he has this little seizure.
A vision.
Do you want to say vision? I feel like it's a seizure.
But he has them when he's sleeping, so it could be a dream, could be a vision. Could
But
be
I
a
think it's
seizure.
more
I
so
like
like
to say nanite seizure.
like the vision that he's having is like when his friends are in danger, because you kind of look at the whole situation with Miles. He had that vision when he was asleep and the two soldiers caught on fire, but now he's having the vision of like Charlie and Miles in this like abandoned barn place.
Right.
So he kind of feel like some of my friends are being threatened. So I think he's more of like a scapegoat for a lot of his closest friends, because
He's a psychic for his friends. The nanites are psychically selective.
Because look, everything that's happened. He saved Miles, and now he's saved.
Weird. That's what I'm saying. This is weird. I just don't. It's becoming a little too weird for me. They have to hurry up and explain this. I'm sorry, writers. You gotta explain it because it doesn't make sense. Now it's starting to be a little weird because it's moving from technology to something different.
And I thought this episode lacked a little bit in just the overall plot too. Like it was sort of like a filler episode that gave you a little bit of information, but not a whole bunch of movement in the episode.
It's just trying to move the episode along. Like, oh yeah, this is kind of what happened, but it really had no significance to anything besides Aaron wanting to leave.
No, I think. Well, I'm saying I think Miles and Bass coming together was pretty big. Right. I would say. So anyway, let's move on over to our good friend Charlie and her.
Speaking of Aaron's vision.
Right. And now her friend Bass. We see at the beginning of the episode that they are scoping out Willoughby and they see that the Rangers are everywhere. Charlie somehow manages to break into Willoughby with all of this heavily armed fortress. How is that possible?
She probably walked in the front door.
Yeah, probably.
Didn't notice her.
What is going? I don't understand this stuff. She's able to like do amazing things.
But you gotta look at. I mean, she was there before the soldiers, before she actually left to go look for Bass. So I think she kind of know her way around the whole entire city of Willoughby. I mean, you have to look at last week. When the clan came over and the guy, just kind of like jumped in and it's like
parkoured over the wall.
Exactly.
Right. So I mean, but I would have liked to at least see her jumping a wall or something. It's something really quick just to let us know.
Just an establishment of her getting inside.
Right. Yeah. Right. Did she's like teleport in? I mean, come on. At this point.
She has supernatural ability.
I know, right? Teleportation is not above us.
So one guy shoots lasers out of his eyes. One girl can teleport. One guy has a claw.
He has a vision.
Where are we going with this?
I know. It's been done already. Okay, so she gets in there, and of course, it's a nice, warm reunion between her and Miles, and she lets him know that she's back because there's a bounty for her mom, and she shows him.
Shows him the poster.
But then she doesn't tell him. She's a little sneaky, and then she goes to take him outside the city. Yet again, they can get out. River. We don't know how, but they get out of the city, and no one notices, and they go by the river where our good friend Sebastian Monroe is hiding.
Yes.
Living in a
van. Did you think they were going to fight? Did you guys think they were going to fight when they first saw each other?
Not really. I thought Miles was going to do exactly what he intended to do, just walk away because he really had nothing to do with Bass because Bass tried to kill him. He killed part of his family, and it just real like a lot of controversy between the two of them. He did what I thought he was going to do. It was like
I was looking for a punch.
At least one. Something. You got to be kidding me.
Miles never started a fight. Have you noticed he never started a fight? He's always defending himself and everyone else. So that's why I thought he's really going to just walk away and just leave it as is.
But I feel like there would have been a little more anger, especially when you walked up to him and he was like, "What did you do to Charlie?"
He thought he did something to her right away.
You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that should have caused, I think, a little more rage. You know this guy.
He's your best friend.
Yeah,
Miles,
exactly.
Miles is.
Well, Miles is, but he knows that Bass is not. So the fact that if you're like, okay, I know how this man operates. I got a beautiful young niece here. He's probably done something to her. I feel like he should have rushed up on Bass a little more anger than he had. Not necessarily to hit him, but it's like there should have been a little more in that area, I think.
I guess he just really wanted to know what is his purpose overall. I mean, I just kind of disagree because he knows Charlie. He knows Charlie can kind of take care of himself. Take care of herself, but at the same time, Miles is really just the respectable guy. I'm just trying to really defend my rights and save the people around me. So he don't really start fights. So it's kind of like, well, Charlie, why did you bring him here? But at the same time, he knew it had to be a reason why Charlie brought him here.
Yeah, but that's a bunch of crock, Larice. Because
I'm just saying.
If somebody does it to your niece, what would you do?
Do what to her?
If your niece rolled up with one of your guys that you've grown up with, and you know the character of this guy, how would you be? Yeah. How would you be? You wouldn't just be like, hey, what did you do to her? No, you'd be like, whoa.
All up in his business. Hey, step back a little bit. You know?
I would still question the situation. Like, I just wouldn't start a fight for no reason.
I mean, I'm not saying that, but I think there just should have been more rage there on Miles' behalf.
Yeah, I mean, but you kind of look at like what Sebastian said as he kind of walk away, like you should have been dead. He's like, you should have killed me a long time ago, but you can't because you can't pull the trigger. Right. So you really kind of look at the significance of it is that Miles still respect Bass for the person that he is, because they kind of have that brotherly love.
Right.
But he's like, right now, I'm angry at you because of everything you've done, but at the same time, I can't kill you, and I really don't want you to be here because I'm angry at you.
Right.
So are they establishing a friendship that we're going to see down the road?
I think so.
I think they're
It's
going
gonna
to
be
be
a work
BFFs again.
relationship is what I really
All
feel.
business, no pleasure.
Yes.
No, I
Butch
think they're
Cassidy in
gonna
the
be friends
house,
again.
Sundance Kid.
I really want them to be friends again. I feel like they've grown as people. They've been through a lot in the last, 6 months to a year. I
think so.
They've grown, and I also think that, I think it makes sense to Miles once Bass explains to him. Obviously, he's seen that there's a bounty for Rachel. They have her in possession. Why are they not killing her? Why are they not moving her? So there's a lot of questions, and he also understands that, these people set the nukes to go off on their town.
On the softer side.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he's like, and they're framing me for it. We know I didn't do it. So let's figure out what's going on here. So it makes sense. I get it. Don't fight. Let's figure it out first.
I thought it was interesting that they didn't introduce the bounty on Monroe's head. They talk about Rachel's bounty. They show the poster, but they never say to anyone else, that he has a bounty on his head as well.
I think, but here's the thing, though. I think it's almost not as significant because it's obvious nobody likes him.
Right.
So then if you see a bounty for him, you're like, who cares? No one likes him anyway. Like that's probably an old bounty. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, it was enough to get him arrested a couple weeks ago.
Right. But I guess what I'm saying is, I'm sure Charlie probably mentioned it as she was telling Miles, but more significantly, why would you have the same bounty sheet for Rachel? That's a bigger question because she's not an enemy of the state,
Again, I think the bounty for Rachel is because the fact that, she's partly created the nanites and the whole Tower 12 situation.
But that's the thing. Who knows about it? That would actually, and that's
the government.
Okay, but that's what we have to figure out.
You want to know who's running the government? I'm running the government.
The president.
Lord, we're all going straight to
It's going down.
It's going down if Larice is president. Good grief.
Hey.
I'd vote for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe. Yeah, I would too, a little bit.
Maybe you would.
Maybe halfay. I'd lie and say I'd lie on the exit poll and say
I did. But I really did.
Okay, so then we also see that that they are now a trio.
A faction, if you will.
They are. They're going to start an uprising because how does Miles put it? Every good opposition has something. He said something.
Yeah.
Every good uprising has an opposition or something?
Something like that.
Something like that. Close enough. You know.
See last week's episode for the quote.
Right.
Because I said it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we know that, and we see that that these guys are now, what did he say? Butch and Sundance.
They're Butch and Sundance. I love the Butch and Sundance reference.
Right. And it's really funny because it does seem like Bass is so excited. Like he's happy. Yeah. Like
he even comments on it.
Yeah. Right. And so I'm glad that Miles points it out. And so like, yo, you're like a giddy little kid. Like you're so excited. And he's like,
is there old times ahead?
Yeah. We finally get to fight again. Fight for a purpose.
Right. And I love how they keep mentioning different cities, and it makes
Ann Arbor,
Charlie... Right, Ann Arbor.
South Bend.
Yeah, Charlie's like, yo, you keep naming cities. What does this mean? Because they each know what it means.
You just can't talk about cities like that.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, you're just naming cities.
They're shooting and moving,
Right. But they actually move... They work very well together, and I think you get to see in this episode... I mean, they were effortless going through the dark.
Dropping 7, 8, 9 soldiers and capturing one.
That ambush is kind of like crazy, though, because you really kind of look at that. It's like 6, 7 of those guys, Charlie, Miles, and Bass, as they take down a whole, 6, 7 guys with, semi-automatic rifles. And it's just like, how does that happen? With one shotgun and 2 swords.
And nobody gets... Those 3 don't get shot or anything.
Yeah.
And I found it a little weird. Okay, I'm sorry. Doesn't make sense to me. Miles, of course, gets the last soldier to take him captive, and he punches him with his broken hand.
He has a cast on her.
So, have you ever had a cast? You still can't kick or punch with a cast on.
Maybe
it's a half cast.
He's got some nanites in him, too. He's healed up.
It's a half cast.
This stuff is... This doesn't make sense. I'm sorry. I caught you, writers. You guys should have did a little.
He should have did a backhand or something, right?
Use a sword handle.
Or use your elbow or something, or use the other one. He should have been like, you remember this, and then hit him with the other. Yeah. Hit him with the left.
Hit him with the left.
Right.
Catch him with the left.
Right. That's what you're supposed to do. That makes more sense. That doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, so they capture the.
But he was like one of the general. That's the one that broke his hand.
That's exactly, but I'm saying you don't hit someone with a broken member, like it hurts. You know
It's
what
a
I'm saying?
cast. It was a cast.
That's not like for real cast
Have you
material.
ever had a cast?
I have, but you can't really make a cast like that when there's, I mean, can you?
What? It's a
Make a
half
real,
cast.
like, plaster.
Some mache.
That's what.
plastic.
Have you not seen? I know, right?
Some water.
I don't know. No, it looks like a soft cast.
It looks like a wrap. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
It's an
you
ace
punching
bandage.
somebody with a broken, I'm sorry, it's just
He
too
healed
much for
quickly.
me.
Everybody's healing quickly right
It's
now.
a lie.
Unless you get shot.
It's a lie.
I'm just saying.
Okay. So then they take, of course, we have to back up a little bit. The Ranger, John Fry, we find that he is friends.
I don't know if I call them
Frenemies.
friends. Yeah. He tried to
But
kill him.
Miles tried to
once.
kill him.
Right. So let's
I
call
mean-
them frenemies because he actually has a conversation. You don't really,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you wouldn't really trust or meet up with someone that is a true enemy.
I mean, but at the same time, you gotta kind of look at like when Miles tried to kill him, it was basically the controversy between the two states, between Texas and the Monroe Republic. As he see Miles now, that Miles not being aggressive, and the fact that Miles actually sent
Asked for the meeting.
asked for the meeting, like kind of like weird and kind of funny because he sent him like a sheriff badge to come to the meeting.
Come
So he
find
kind
me.
so he kind of understand like, okay, well, it's almost like we're at treaty right now, we're at peace, and the reason Miles brings him in is to tell him about what's really happened with the Patriots and what his idea was going on.
Yeah. And I think John, being the good Texas Ranger that he is, the good Texan that he is, he knows that something's up. So I think that's also why he agrees to meet with Miles, even though Miles.
They even say that when he rolls into town. Why shouldn't I shoot you right now? You
Right.
sent me the letter, but I still could kill you.
Yeah.
Right, right. And so, of course, he listens to what Miles has to say, and he's like, that sounds good, but we need proof.
Yeah.
Which is true. You can't go back to the general of the Texas Republic.
Ranger. Yeah.
You know, Texans don't play. So he says, okay, give me the proof. We'll meet up tonight. So, of course, now
At Ye Old Mill.
Yeah.
A midnight meeting.
which is so fitting for an old Western.
Again,
Fits.
insert Butch and Sundance reference here.
Hey. So then, as they're at the old mill, that's when our precious Aaron and Rachel come because
Comes
of
in.
Aaron's psychic abilities to pinpoint to GPS people. And that's when Rachel is like, I should kill Bass immediately.
An old
Yeah.
Western standoff, perhaps?
Right.
It's not even a standoff because she's the only one who has a gun.
Right. Do you guys think that Miles was out of line for not letting her kill Bass?
No.
There's no need for it right now.
Okay.
They'll have time. I mean, use him.
But you look at like she's going off the fact of what happened in the past, not about what Bass is capable of doing, what he's there for right now. She's going off for anger,
What he's
and I
already
think
done.
Rachel just have a lot of anger in her, and she really feels like Bass is the reason why her husband died, why her son died, why all these people died is because of Monroe. But in actuality, you know, it's like, hey, it's a reason behind everything that's happening.
Rachel had a lot of anger this week. I think
Right.
every scene that she was in, she was mad about something. So
So when she was
doesn't
talking
have a
to
lot-
Aaron,
she doesn't have a lot to be. That's why, and I think that's why she also doesn't want him to leave. That's her only source
only
of
friend.
happiness.
kind of, sort of, yeah.
Her only friend outside of Miles, I guess. She doesn't, you know, and you can also see it too when she's having the conversation with Charlie and she says, "You're stupid." What does she say? She says to her specifically, "You really are that stupid," because she recognizes that Charlie came all this way and she came this way with Bass and she did not kill him.
But she don't know the reason behind everything.
And-
I think
and
she's
that's
gonna
what
feel
Charlie
guilty
says.
afterwards.
right.
I think she should have given Charlie this is your daughter whom you love. You should be happy that there was no hug.
Give
there
her a
was no-
hug or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, she hugged Aaron
But you
right
really
away.
got, she hugged Aaron first, not even her
Right.
mom. If I didn't see my mom for a while, and I know we kind of going to certain things, I'm gonna hug my mom first. But Charlie was just like, "Oh, Aaron, are you okay?" And
Good
then
to see you. I
like,
haven't seen you for a while.
"Hey, mom."
Right. I just hope their relationship gets repaired by the end of the season.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I mean, but with Monroe, you can't kill him because I mean, if they go to war, he's gonna either die or they're gonna win, and then they can kill him then.
Exactly.
So they need him for a little bit longer. You
They
know,
need him.
He's got information. He's a good soldier.
And he's great eye candy
Hey,
for the
hey.
ladies.
I mean, are you looking
And
to
some
your
chips.
left? There's a little bit of eye candy right over
You
here.
don't see the two of us over
What?
here?
Where?
Exactly. Thank
Oh,
you.
and Steven, are you talking about our
Oh,
great
the three of us
producer,
over here?
Hey.
Okay, so of course our beautiful Rachel is she's very jaded, I think, and all she sees is red, and she just
Yeah.
wants to kill, forget how Bass can help us. He just needs to die. But there's a time and place for everything, so hold your horses, Rachel. And So ye old Ranger comes in and makes some sense. He says, you know, okay, I see you have this is your proof. And then what do we notice about?
Oh, he died. He killed himself.
Bleeding from the mouth.
Yes.
Because of what?
Cyanide.
So now it's really kind of like, who are the Patriots that they have cyanide teeth?
Biting them, cracking them, and
How do you even make those without electricity?
I mean, you have to pull the teeth and put a
wax
implant in there. Like, seriously.
Oh my gosh.
These are real soldiers.
This is like real assassin, like CIA undercover.
It's gonna kill myself.
Right. This is crazy.
So obviously the Patriots actually know a lot of information, because you really look at, like, if somebody caught me, it's like, okay, yeah, you caught me, but now it's like, okay, well, I have to kill myself because I don't want them to use me against the other Patriots and what the government is really trying to do right now. So you really kind of look at, like, the Patriots really are very important. They have I think a bigger plan for everyone to kind of really take over.
There's a lot to come, I think.
Yeah.
What is so bad that they've got to be this secretive? And like, in order to take over the world, like, what is so bad? That's what I keep thinking. Like, I cannot wait till they reveal that, because, like, seriously, cyanide teeth.
Yeah.
And I even had to ask Ryan as we were watching. I was like, "What is that?" Because I'm thinking in my head, I know it's not what I think it is, which is, you know, cyanide. I'm like, no, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's like, yeah, it's a cyanide tooth.
Well, if you wait until maybe May, you'll find out. 20 episodes this season, so we'll get a lot of information to come.
Right.
Yes.
We've got a long way to go. So of course. The Rangers like, what can we do with this dead guy? Absolutely nothing. And if I take this back to the general, the most he's going to do is still sign a treaty. He's not going to go to war with these people. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And he's right. I mean, I think he's right. There's really nothing that he can do.
They can't fight a two-fronted war, as he points out, because they already have people in the South defending the South.
Yeah.
Right, from a warlord. So I guess, and that means the south of Texas, which is Mexico, right?
Yes.
Which I guess
Part
we're
of it.
still guarding the borders when there's no electricity. I guess immigration.
15 years later, still
right.
immigration.
Immigration does not stop if there's no border. So of course, Bass comes in and he shoots the Ranger.
Finds a way to start a war. Put a bullet in someone's head.
What do you was that a smart move?
It's like, yes, if you really want to start a war, but no, because you just killed a Texas Ranger for no reason.
There's a reason. I mean, start a war. I think Monroe's in the right. Like, that's probably their best option right now, to start a war. Somebody's got to die, as always. So why not kill this guy who we don't really know and pin it on somebody else? And, you know, you've got relationships with Texas already. Both of them do, because they tried to work a treaty out previously. Yeah. So they can ride back to the general and say, hey, listen, this guy shot your guy. Let's go to war. But
at the same time, I think with Miles, again, he's just the type of guy, he don't like pointless killing. And he was really kind of shocked, like, what are you doing? You know, and I think at that moment, I think he wanted to hit Bass.
I think he did. And I was just like, but I mean, he was just as stunned as I was, because I did not expect that to happen. I didn't think that he was going to kill a Ranger. When he did, obviously, Miles was just like.
I think it does help, though, keep Monroe as Monroe. Because in the last few episodes, he's been kind of moving towards the good side, you know, being a hero-type character, saving the day, that kind of stuff. Don't forget, he's still a ruthless killer down there deep inside.
Right.
So.
And so, I mean, after it happens, you're like, okay, well, maybe it does make sense. That he does, because, I mean, the Rangers said the best they're going to have is a treaty. So at least this way we know there will be a war. So I think that's actually a smart move. You guys have any predictions? Let's see.
Yeah.
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, Larice, go ahead.
I'll predict, like, next week is really going to be interesting, because I think it's going to be a great controversy between the Texans and the Patriots. Major Neville will probably, again, gain the trust of the Secretary of State even more, and I think they're going to start using each other.
Okay.
So what do you think? Do you think Monroe is going to die next week?
No. I think Miles is going to save him from his
which would be the obvious thing, yeah.
Right. I was pointing out to you earlier, I love the quote at the very, very end when you hear Rachel's father saying it. It's an honor, you know. So is he going to be the one to maybe step up and save him? That's what I'm looking to see next week.
I took that as it's an honor to kill you. I've been charged with, you know, your lethal injection, and it's an honor to kill you because you've killed my son-in-law, you killed my grandson, you've caused so many issues for my daughter, and it's just crazy. So I really do think that Rachel's father is happy to kill him. And I think it's kind of a bittersweet thing, because they're all kind of like, yes, he gets to die, but then they're kind of like, dang, but under these circumstances.
Since you say something like that, I really think that he's not going to poison him. He's probably giving him a sedative to make him go to sleep.
Sleeping drug.
But not
that-
really
yeah.
like poison him. Just so that, oh, it's an honor to kill you, but at the same time, I'm just going to put you to sleep for a long time just so the fact, because we still need you. And I think that's going to be a conversation that's kind of like discussed between all of them. You know, if that was me, that's what I would do. Because you need him. You can't just kill him off.
I wonder how they captured him, by the way. Do you think Rachel told on him? I think Rachel tells and says,
To build the trust.
Found. No, I think she really just is mad, and I think she goes and tells. But then they use that. They talk.
Yeah.
They might talk some sense into her and say, Rachel, like, we need him, so talk to your pops. And
See what you can work out. Figure
Right,
it out.
right.
They do need him for sure. If there's a war coming,
He's definitely
is prime.
him and Miles together
Right.
are actually like great fighters.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm excited.
Yes, and where can all of our fans find you, handsome gentlemen?
You can find me at True Peoples, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also check out TruePeoplesMedia.com.
You can find me at RyanHooks92, Twitter, Instagram, Yahoo.
Yahoo.
Sure, why not?
Ah, well, Yahoo, get on them.
Google too. Email. You can get me everywhere, RyanHooks92.
Right. And
Oh,
of
my.
course, you can get me, Megan Thomas, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Meg Scoop, like scoop of ice cream. Make sure you tune into Revolution next week and our AfterBuzz show. We can't wait to discuss it with
Can't
you.
wait to see you and your questions.
See you later.
See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.